The 2026 Kia K5 GT with the GT1 package in wolf gray over black. Last year we did get some updates from the exterior, and when you're putting a $40-ish thousand vehicle like this with the performance that you're getting, what I'm going to show you is what you're getting as a total value and why this is a better option than any of the competition. I'm Anthony from Supercar Throttle, and when we're talking about competition, we're going to start off with a Hyundai Elantra N. That's going to be around 35, 36 grand. We got a few reviews on Hawkeye rides, so check them out. But when you're comparing it against this, it's going to have less horsepower and torque. So the few $1,000s that you're saving just don't tick the box to the GT1 package, which would give you more safety features. Now, if you're comparing this against Honda, you could go all the way up into a Civic Type R. You're going to spend a lot more dough than this, so it wouldn't make sense. And Kia is telling us that it's getting a 5.40 to 60. So now we're already surpassing all of the competition, because even if you go into Toyota's GR Corolla, that starts at near $40,000. So again, you're seeing the total value. What you're getting in the front, LED reflector headlights with auto on and off, amber LED daytime runnings, and LED fog lights. And this is going to be a more sporty profile. So this whole grille is based on the GT, which is going to have the gloss black inserts here for the tiger nose grille that was reworked a few years back. The lower gets the glossy black, as well as this area here that goes right in front of the fog lights. Now, should you option the GT line, well, it's going to be a completely different engine. You're only going to be getting about 100-ish pounds more curb weight going this route, and the 0 to 60 is by far a lot quicker. And underneath the hood houses a 2.5 liter Smart Stream turbocharged 4-cylinder producing 290 horsepower with 311 pound-feet of torque, paired to an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. Now, Kia is stating a 0 to 60 is at 5.4 seconds. Achieving 23 mpgs for the city, 33 mpgs for the highway. That's a combined of 27 mpgs. Now that you got the specs in your mind, now we can go to the next level. BMW, Audi, and Mercedes-Benz. You're going to be spending around $10,000 more for those examples, and you're probably thinking, well, I want to just click off the channel because this is not going to compete against that. Well, hold on a second. 5.4 seconds 0 to 60. Those are going to be a little bit slower unless you tick the box for an all-wheel drive variant, and you're saving $10,000 here. Now, yes, the big problem that comes into play is it's only a front-wheel drive configuration, whereas you can get an all-wheel drive configuration on those vehicles. But the savings that you're getting, and you can option a torque vectoring system which will help with slippage, but it's still not going to be the same as a all-wheel drive. So dynamically speaking, this is not going to be as sound. That's why it wouldn't be in the same category, even though it can be faster if you're ticking the base trim levels. 19-inch wheels come standard here. This is an upgraded gloss black 19-inch with a 245/40 around all four corners. The neon brakes, that is part of the GT, which upgrades your braking system. Now we're getting a 13.6-inch disc in the front. The rear is getting a 12.8 with the McPherson strut front suspension, multi-link rear suspension. It's a sport tuned suspension, which also makes the ride a little bit more rigid than the base model vehicle. So if you're thinking about the GT line, it's a completely different animal than this, even though you're getting some of the styling elements as this. So with all that being said, you can see exactly where I'm getting at. This is not only a sweet spot, but you're getting the performance ticked. You're getting the family ticked. You're getting the MPGs ticked. It's hard to say this is not the best vehicle in class and going a step up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you go to the K5 GT or the competition? Because what you're getting as a total value, it's really hard to say that this is not the best vehicle in class. Click the like and a subscribe if you haven't already, because all these clicks help with the algorithm so we can bring more vehicles to the channel. 290 horsepower with 311 pound-feet of torque. Why is this one of the best vehicles that you can buy at $40,000? That's where we're going to show and go over all in one. Starting off with, the windows are huge, so for safety it ticks the box. This is a Kia, so you're also getting the best-in-class warranty. And when you get the GT1 pack, you're getting all the safety ticked, which usually when you're looking at a vehicle that captures things like performance and family, it's really hard to see that blended in, because Toyota, they don't do it anymore with the Camry. Going into the GR Corolla, I mean, it's around $39,000 base price, which goes into a near $50,000 price quickly, and you could already see what I mean by savings. Honda, they don't have anything really that competes with this. You'd have to go into a Civic Type R. If you're gonna start spending more than $45,000 to $50,000, well, now you're at money that is BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. Well, they even think about that because the 0 to 60 is actually faster in this front-wheel drive configuration vehicle. Now, you can get an all-wheel drive there. These are just key points that you want to keep in mind if you are shopping, because, I mean, that to me would say, I don't want to go 3 Series, I don't want to go A5, I don't want to go C300, because I'm getting all that value here in a $10,000-ish savings. You could go on a nice vacation, or you know what, put it on a down payment on this, you'll never be upside down. Power, it has it. Dual clutch automatic transmission, some people are not a huge fan of that, but you know, when you're starting to get performance, you have to get what you got to get. The cons to me, though, is you only have 6 different exterior colors, 1 interior color you can pick. And it's sad to me to see that, because you have a lot of value here, considering we have the upgraded sound system. We also have wireless connectivity, wireless charging pad. Everybody has charging ports throughout. The seat comfort's good. My knees do sit up in the air, but the wheel well area is kind of wide, so I can rest my knees on the side panel or the center cluster. Storage isn't too bad for the back seat. It does lack a little bit, but you do have storage behind both of the front seats, so that kind of takes the box there. And I have 3 kids. Usually they don't even use anything as storage in the back anyways. Maybe you're gonna put a bottle back there, so it's more or less efficient. Cargo capacity is right on point with everybody in its class. Dynamically speaking, though, this is not going to be as good as some of those vehicles that I have illustrated, because it's a front-wheel drive vehicle. But that being said, you're gonna have to have something that is, you know, where you have some cons that come into play. Turn radius, we have a multi-link rear suspension, so it should be a little bit more tight, but it's about 2 lanes, so that's not exactly what I would like to see. And as for brakes, we're gonna stop right here. You can stop on a dime. And the performance, it gets more than engaged, it gets loud, it gets more playful, it opens up to exactly what you're wanting, and you're not expecting it at this price point. That is what you're getting as a total value. You appreciate all of that blend because you're getting all the safety, all the technology, and you're getting performance. And you could get this under $40,000, have you? What vehicle can you get that captures all this? They just don't offer them anymore. And that's why this is such a unique vehicle, and I'm so happy that Kia still makes it, because we did lose the GT Stinger, which was an amazing vehicle, and it's a hatchback. So they replaced it with this, which is fine because this is a sedan, but you still get all that liveliness. Now, the con that comes into play is you don't hear the exhaust as much as you would on the Stinger. The interior of this is a lot more open, so that's definitely a plus, because the Stinger that we lost was a lot more closed off, but you could see where they have just basically changed it a little bit, so it's not the Stinger and it's the K5. And the 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, I think it does an excellent job. Some people might think it's a con, but when you're going for a sports sedan, I want it to shift a little bit faster, and it does a good job with that. It's not that heavy of a vehicle. It's under 3,600 pound curb weight. This is why it's able to do everything that it can, plus get great MPGs, which, when you are thinking about competition, who can do all this in one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, which way you would go. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and check out this next video right here.